What's up? Welcome to the Virzi Triplets show. We are back from our road trip, which started off, it was a hellish start. I'm not going to lie. Did not have a great start to the road trip whatsoever. We initially landed. Our flight was supposed to take off in Dallas, be in Dallas at 10 p.m. We get our rental car. We go to our hotel. Southwest decided, we're just not going to have a flight or a pilot for your flight. Mm-hmm. So they delayed us 4.5 hours. Mm-hmm. We didn't land till 2:30 in the morning. They don't want to talk for some reason on a podcast, but that's...
No, you were telling the story. You seemed very excited about it.
Well,
I don't want to get
also there. You guys can contribute to this story here.
I mean, I didn't know when you were going to end talking, so I just let you go.
Well, I was,
You're yelling into the microphone. I wanted to let you finish your story. You seem very passionate about it.
Well, no, it was the start of it. It was not the greatest start, especially for Mitchie. Mitchie's got a little heart problem.
Yeah, no, that didn't help. The lack of sleep. We didn't go to bed till 3 a.m. Had to get up at 7, do some morning promo, and then had to go back and get a rental car because they fucked over our time. So,
yeah,
as clunky as a start as it can go.
But I went to war with Southwest on their social media. Whoever their social media guy was, I was messaging them nonstop about the flight.
Did you win?
Oh, yeah, I won. I got them to reimburse for the Ubers, which they never reimburse. But I was like, no, you are the exact reason why we had to pay for an Uber. And then they sent us vouchers as well, which I just followed up with them. And they're like, it should be coming in a week. And I'm like, oh, you said within 15 days. And I was like, are you mailing it? And they're like, no, it's an email. I'm like, then why haven't we gotten it yet?
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. I bet the guy working customer care is shitting in his pants right now.
Well, you know what? I'll just take yours then. I'm going to take your voucher. That's what you guys
quivering in his little Southwest boots.
The Southwest Renegade, Alex Virzi.
Hey,
fighting down.
I didn't see you guys doing it.
No, because you felt so passionate about it, much like you starting off the podcast. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Please, by all means, this is a group interaction.
Well, no, I didn't want to interrupt you. You felt empowered to get the money back.
Well, it was 4.5 hours of delays.
It was bad,
and it wasn't for a good reason. Like, I understand they're like, well, we don't reimburse for things we can't control. And I'm like, no, this is exactly what you control. It was you didn't have a pilot for the flight, which is the first thing you need aside from a plane for a flight.
Yeah, it's probably only a two-step thing. You need a plane and a pilot.
Yes.
I would say those are the two. And honestly, the pilot is even questionable. I don't even know. You really just need the plane.
Elon will make it one day where you don't need a pilot.
You can autopilot.
It's always better to have. The pilot's there merely for like safety. To reassure everybody, like, hey, just in case, we got a guy.
Well, yeah, no, and they're like they delayed us for 2 hours, and they're like, okay, we have a pilot. And they go, never mind, we don't have a pilot. They pulled him to put him on a different plane. Yeah. So we're still trying to find one. And it was like,
well, they loaded us. You forgot, they delayed us for an hour or so. Then they loaded us saying they had a pilot. And then they kept us on the plane saying they don't have a pilot.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
So it was just not a great start to the tour.
But boy, did we dismount that tour on a high note. Not really, but it was fun.
Well, we finished in St. Louis.
Oh, I was going to say.
You guys finished in St. Louis. I had to drive to Dallas after that.
True, yeah. The rental car would have been $1,300 extra bucks. So.
Yeah, the rental car was $700 for 16 days. I think it was like $816. And then, but if we were starting in Dallas. So if you don't know, we started in Dallas, went to Hot Springs, Arkansas, Nashville, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and then Wisconsin, St. Louis, and then we were supposed to go to Phoenix from there. Phoenix got canceled for some reason.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Some say it was from a lack of ticket sales. But
that can't have been it.
I think there's some kind of big event or something that they...
Others would say acts of God.
Yeah, it was... For whatever reason, they had to cancel it. But so the whole thing was Mitchell and Sean were going to fly into St. Louis or fly from St. Louis to L.A. and then drive the car to Phoenix so we didn't have to get a rental car. And then I was going to drive the rental car from St. Louis down to Dallas and then just fly directly into Phoenix. Phoenix got canceled, so then I just got stuck driving the rental car down to Dallas and then flying back to L.A., which that flight also got delayed.
Yeah.
By 2 hours. Yes, Southwest again delayed the flight, and I was like, I don't give it. I just want to get home that day.
I mean, after all of this, what are your airline rankings?
Oh, man. I still got to put Southwest up there because we've flown Southwest for a long time, and the 2-bag thing is very, very convenient.
Yeah.
Every other airline now, a bag is like $65 to get just a normal duffel bag on the flight.
Rankings.
Ooh. Everybody says Delta's number one. I'd probably say Delta. I like Southwest still. American, United, Sun Country, and Spirit are both bottom barrel.
Oh, I think Sun Country's the worst.
I disagree. I would say, Sun Country's bottom barrel. I would put Spirit number one, Frontier number two. They give you cookies. And 3, Delta, Southwest, and then United.
Why Spirit number one?
Dude, it's dirt cheap. I don't care what anybody says, dude. It's like, oh, I can't bring my bags on. It's like, wear all your clothes you're going to wear, sit on the plane for 2 hours, and then you're good. It's $50. Sure, it doesn't come with a seatbelt. Fine.
Yeah,
the chair's made out of plastic. You don't need that either. But still.
Eater.
But still.
I can't get
dirt
into
cheap.
it.
I can't get
Frontier's the same thing.
I will say Spirit is definitely the best for people watching.
Yeah.
There's a lot of creatures that go on Spirit Airlines.
Dude, we went on Spirit. They were like raffling out free miles.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. No, I did not like that.
I'm not a fan of that.
Well, that was a Vegas trip too.
Screaming for airline points.
Yeah.
On the
But
flight.
if you're gonna go to Vegas, Spirit is the best one to do it on.
Yeah.
Because it's already kind of ratchet and like, you're going to Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can kind of see that.
You want to know how you pass all the baggage thing for Spirit, right? You go, you put all your clothes in a plastic bag, right? Put them all in a plastic bag. Be like, hey, I bought these at the airport store. That's it. Boom, bring it on. They can't tell you not like you just bought it at the airport.
No, they could check it.
No, they can't. They can't look in your bag. That's ridiculous.
I don't know.
I had a woman make me check my bag on the trip.
No, I know. Well, that's because your duffel bag is bigger than an army duffel bag.
Yeah, I have one that I'm moving across the country with, a gigantic duffel bag.
Yeah.
I bought the wrong size on Amazon.
You did.
But it was useful. It was useful for later on in the trip, just not for a carry-on. It's not a useful carry-on. But no, we really haven't spent much time in the Midwest. So we were taking in the local cuisines. I got to say, Arkansas slaps.
Oh, yeah.
Arkansas was way nicer than I thought it was. I thought Arkansas was going to be tumbleweeds and just fields, and that was it.
We mixed up Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's pretty nice too, man. You guys, it's kind of the same thing.
I feel like everybody craps on the Midwest, but when you actually go to the Midwest, it's pretty nice.
I think we saw some of the better parts. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes.
I think that we missed a lot of the empty field, and we saw more of the civilization.
Oh no, I drove St. Louis to Dallas. I saw all the fields.
Oh, there you go. See,
there's a lot of fields.
Yeah. No doubt.
And trees. Mm-hmm. But it was still the actual cities were nicer than I thought. Like Little Rock was actually a nice little town.
Yeah.
Hot Springs, Arkansas was beautiful.
I loved it out there.
Anywhere with a lake. I'll anywhere with a lake. You've pretty much won me over. I'm a lake guy.
You get one of those shitty fixer uppers right on the lake. I'm sure it's probably overpriced, but fix it up. Hey, you got yourself a family home for generations.
And now, when you say fix it up, you're not a type of guy that's going to fix it up. You are not a.
I'll rake some leaves.
Yeah, you're not a fix it up guy. You're not getting your hands dirty.
Dad's a contractor. It's in my blood.
No, but it's in his blood. You're not.
I'm his blood.
You can't hang curtains.
I can hang curtains. Mine are hung great. They've been up for the whole time.
Have they?
Yeah.
I don't know. You couldn't take apart a bed. I've seen you in your work, and it's not impressive.
What was the last thing you saw?
I mean, I worked with you for years. I know what you can and can't do.
Yeah, but I've changed.
You just finally rearranged your room to make it look decent. It's only been 4 years.
Well, yeah, I had the shittiest room. I had the smallest fucking 10 by 10 room. Yes.
I think my room's worse.
No.
You think your giant suite is worse?
I pay a lot of money for it, though.
You
pay a lot of money.
You really don't.
I pay
Comparatively,
a ton.
You don't pay that much money.
I pay $1,000.
You have a bathroom and double the size of our rooms.
It's not double, but
it's and double the closet for sure.
Well, I need it. I had better fashion sense. Which, by the way, I did discover a new joy of mine, which is thrift shopping and digging. So I went to Goodwill where we were in Appleton, Wisconsin. And it's like the one where it's the donation center where like it's not like the Goodwill store. It's like where everything is donated, and they just bring out these bins, these giant, like 10-foot long bins, and you just have to sift through there, and like it's a free for all. Whatever's in there, and you find it, and you want to take it,
it's a glorified dumpster.
they charge. Yes, but they charge by the pound for clothing. By the pound,
How much per pound?
$1.49.
I mean, that's pretty good.
$1.49 per pound of clothing.
Yeah, Mitchell comes back and he goes, "Look at all this loot I got." And it was a bunch of women's winter jackets.
Now, it just so happens that women's jackets fit me very well.
They do.
I will say I'm wearing a men's jacket currently, but yeah, I got a Liz Claiborne jacket. I got a turtleneck. I got a J. Crew hoodie, and I got another jacket for $8. $8.
The price, that is hard to beat.
It's hard to beat.
Mitchell's starting to cross-dress pretty soon.
Listen, you gotta.
Because this isn't your first female jacket you've gotten.
What was the other one?
You took like a jean jacket or something.
Oh yeah, I took a jean jacket from a Lost and Found
Yeah.
that happened to fit me perfectly.
Maybe,
But it may or may not have been a woman's.
Mitchell's slowly venturing into, soon it'll be, I'm trying Victoria's Secret on. I just want to see how it feels. Like, it looks good. I can pull it off.
Why is that an issue for you?
It's
not an issue.
I will say
you're shaming me for wearing clothes that seem to fit me.
It's just
I will say we did go to Duluth in Louisville, the Duluth
Trading company.
Duluth Trading Company, and I mean, corn-fed must be a real thing because nothing. They had smalls, extra smalls, nothing fit us. Okay,
See, that is where the women's clothes fit amazing.
yeah, the women's clothes fit there perfectly. I mean, we had to. We had no other options because everything else was way too big on us.
Listen, when you're a short guy, sometimes the best option is to wear women's clothes.
Agreed.
with jackets,
Much like if you're, a little person, sometimes you have to shop in the kids section. You just
Why
have
are you
to,
looking at me?
Well, you're a little guy.
No.
Yes.
I'm a big
You're
guy.
a little guy.
No.
You're
I
a
fill
little-
out an adult large.
You're a little teapot.
No.
Short. That's you.
I'm not. I'm a big man. You're so petite and frail. You have to shop in the women's section.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Women
are equals.
Yes, you shop in the.
Women are
girls-
equals. But our bodies are equal. I also have wide hips.
I
Like
guess
a woman.
so.
Listen, I don't see any shame in the game.
So
I think the problem is you're not comfortable in your own.
Yeah. Are you not comfortable with saying, yeah, my jacket I'm wearing is Liz Claiborne?
What's wrong with that?
I'm very comfortable with my skin.
I don't think you are, because
You just need to.
Anytime I venture out into being a little more fashionable, making more
It's not being fashion. You're wearing women's clothing.
taking more risk on my wardrobe, it's always met with like pseudo, hey, you might be a bitch type of
You are a
You
bitch.
are, yeah.
No, but that's not
You
wearing
no one
women's
else thinks that.
clothing.
But no one else.
You
Everybody.
dress like an NBA player.
Everybody.
What's
you've
wrong with that?
Everybody.
Alpha,
you've shown-
alpha men.
No.
I dress like an alpha male. That's what you just said.
You're dressing.
You just said, hey, you dress like a 7-foot tall, fashionable black man.
No,
That's what you just said.
Have you
they're
seen
not all
what
7
they
feet
wear?
tall. They all
Yeah.
they're wearing. They're not wearing clothes. They're wearing it to make a fashion statement.
Exactly.
You're wearing
That
your,
is part of
You're
fashion.
wearing your discount Goodwill dumpster diving clothes for a fashion statement.
Well, first of all, it's not dumpster diving. It's bin sifting is what we call it.
Okay, and
call
what
it
do you
bin
put your
sifting.
trash in? A bin? A trash bin?
It's donations, so I don't want to get too caught up on this. By the way, you both need it.
Also, but by the way, you know that if you ever don't have.
You look currently whatever this is looks like it was out of a Goodwill bin.
It's a
At least someone's
sweater.
like and then we got the camo blue on baby blue.
Well, he had to change out of his other blue jacket to wear that.
Yeah.
No, but
Cold outside.
no. The only difference between, like, if you ever want to avoid paying like garbage, you just drop your trash bags off at the Goodwill. Like, that's the only difference. Is location.
Yeah,
You can
someti-
literally drop off trash.
Have you
at the
seen
Goodwill and they'll
some of
take
those have you seen those TikToks where people find like really good shit?
I'm talking about literal rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
This is a dumb argument.
Oh my God.
But no, saying you have great fashion and then being like, I just wear women's clothing is
Because
not
it fits
the
better.
option.
You're not wearing it for the statement.
That's not.
You should try some Lane Bryant. I think it would fit you better. I think it would. 'Cause
Anyways,
you're looking a little, You get you look like you're ready for hibernation.
Yeah, everybody gains a little weight in the winter.
I'm the opposite. I try to cut in the winter. I cut in the winter so that way I don't have to do as hard during the spring.
Have you?
No, I'm off the road. I'm fat.
Okay.
I'm fat as fuck right now.
Yeah,
I'm off of
okay.
a road trip. So this is I'm cutting before Thanksgiving because I know I'll eat a little bit in Thanksgiving and whatever else. But no, I do a pre-holiday,
Well, speaking of
middle holiday purge.
Speaking of the road trip and, putting on weight and food, the best barbecue that we had in the Midwest was Buc-cee's. I don't care what anybody says. Buc-cee's is the best barbecue. We tried Texas. We tried St. Louis. We tried Nashville. Buc-cee's beat every single one of them.
Buc-cee's might just be the greatest store that ever existed. It had everything you'd ever want.
Oh, my God. It was amazing.
And it was convenient, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. That's the nice part.
Yeah.
Buc-cee's has their beaver. They got the beaver chips. They got a bunch of dumb beaver things.
Beaver nuggets.
Right up our alley.
Oh, it's perfect. There's not a snack. First off, they have every snack you can imagine.
Yeah.
Every single snack you can imagine.
14,000 gas pumps.
14,000 gas pumps, every snack you can imagine, every beverage you can imagine. I mean, they must have had at least 64 different soda options.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Buc-cee's is pretty much like the Costco of convenience stores for gas stations. That's like what I would
in
describe
Texas.
it as. Yes.
It's a very Midwest local place.
But it's like if you want trail mix, they got a whole different. They got regular, they got assorted. They have their own trail mix they make. If you want chips, cheese puff, they had jalapeno cheddar cheese puffs. Amazing. They were their own.
And they had fresh food.
They had fresh food. Again, the barbecue brisket, the beef brisket they made was the best we had on the entire road trip.
It's fresh.
The best by far.
They had 100-foot line of like sodas. Probably a 50-foot line of just a wall of fountain sodas that you could go up to, like 7-Eleven on crack and steroids.
Yeah. This was a small Buc-cee's.
That was a small.
That
Buc-cee's,
was a small
apparently.
Buc-cee's. There's Buc-cee's with statues in it.
Oh, I wanted to take a picture of the statue.
I mean, I have nothing but great things to say about Buc-cee's. I could live in a Buc-cee's and never. I would not miss anything else.
even it's good when even the Amish were going out of their way to go to the Buc-cee's.
That is true. We did see some Amish in Buc-cee's.
Dude, you could buy cheese puffs, deer feed, and mellow yellow soda all in one spot. Where else in the world can you do that?
Which, how does that work? Because I didn't know Amish could go into they're going into a place that uses electricity. Is it
There's
just that they
different-
can't use electricity?
I don't know if they're complete Amish. They were
There's
a
like
hybrid.
Mennonite.
Are they
Mennonite?
Mennonite? Isn't that a Smash Brothers character?
It is. It's different.
Buc-cee's was definitely a bright spot in the entire road trip of just cool little spots to go. We really liked Buc-cee's. Honestly, Hot Springs, Arkansas is beautiful. You ever get the chance to go there?
It is.
Really liked Hot Springs, Arkansas. Where else? I mean, Nashville's always a great town. We love Nashville. Got lunch with my ex-girlfriend there.
We
Yeah,
did.
That was fun.
Yeah, sure was.
They were cool. They didn't. It was her and her sister. There was no drama. There was no.
Well, I feel like when one person has a stable paying job and just bought a house, and the other person in that relationship is a failing comedian traveling with his brothers at 30. I think you feel
Am I failing?
I think you feel pretty good about yourself at the tail end of that relationship. I think you feel good about that decision that was made.
It was a mutual breakup, but it was good. She brought her dog too. Her dog was very cute.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Indiana Jones.
We know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you for getting? Well, no, we've kind of talked about getting lunch with your ex or being friends with your ex.
I was gonna say nothing will make you appreciate the Midwest more than buying a drink in Los Angeles. Oh my God, dude, we were in the Midwest and we bought like 7 beers and then on top of that another pitcher of beers
and appetizers
for 6 people and it was maybe $50.
That was with tip.
That was with tip. A pitcher of Yingling was $7.
Yeah.
7.
Come out here.
Literally a Coors Light out here. One little can is probably $7.
$10 on draft.
Midwest way cheaper.
Yeah.
It was so much nicer to go to the Midwest and eat because we were like, oh man, we took a couple guys on the road with us and we pay for them while they're there, and It was cheaper than when we buy 3 meals in Los Angeles. Feeding 5 people in the Midwest was cheaper than buying 3 meals in Los Angeles.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're a drunkard and like you just like Wisconsin, like if you're a drunkard and you love drinking, like why would you not live in the Midwest?
Well, apparently
it's so dirt cheap.
Wisconsin's known to have some of the drunkest towns. Appleton, Wisconsin, I guess, is one of the third. I think it's the third drunkest town in the America.
Yep,
that we get to stay at. Which, by the way, one of the best dive bars ever. We went to Cleo's Cocktail Lounge. It had Christmas lights and Christmas decorations year round, apparently. Which I think is just, if you're gonna go to a dive bar, you want a dive bar that is a little depressing and kind of, but also, is like a wholesome. Like you feel like there's a community vibe there.
There's a tiny glimmer of light.
There's a perfect juxtaposition between a shitty, dank dive bar that constantly has Christmas lights year round. It's very white trashy, but I loved it.
Yeah, no, it was great. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of cool bars out there.
It was very, drinking a bottle of whiskey to yourself at home with rocking around and Christmas Eve in the background.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it was like.
Yeah, but that's the best.
Yeah, no, we had a good time. I'm trying to think of what was your favorite spot on the road trip? Favorite spot in the Midwest? Sean said Buc-cee's.
The Buc-cee's was fantastic. I have not a bad thing to say about Buc-cee's.
I liked Appleton a lot. Wisconsin was cool. It was like a good little, it had like kind of like a little bit of a college town vibe with like the downtown area, but like that all-American suburb, that seems like the beginning of like a 80s Spielberg movie.
Yeah. We didn't get to spend enough time in some of the other cities, like Louisville.
Louisville seemed like it had potential. I actually liked it.
Louisville was cool. We just didn't get to spend enough time there.
I didn't get to try bourbon there. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try bourbon, but
Fort Wayne didn't spend enough time there.
I don't think we missed much in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't.
I think all the other spots they have way more potential than Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I always like Nashville. Tennessee's beautiful. Love Tennessee.
I did break my alcohol streak though. For anybody wondering. Okay, we were at, I think,
another uncompleted sober October for Mitchell.
We were in Fort Wayne.
Well, I did the month before, so I think that counts. Yeah, I got a beer in Fort Wayne, and then I had a couple drinks after. So
yeah, Mitchie's had a couple little heart problems.
We've had some heart palps. We've had some issues. The doctors have shown no urgency in fixing. By the way, the doctors have done as little as possible.
Well, why would they be urgent about a healthy 30-year-old's heart?
That's a great question. There's no reason for them to be any bit urgent for that, but and they haven't been. They've been really not earning the money I pay for health insurance.
Well,
shout out to Kaiser.
Yeah, they could suck my cock. Currently, my fucking that may or may not be healthy enough for sex. So
Kaiser and Southwest on the shit list today.
Currently, yeah, I'm over it. But had some alcohol. We're good. I'm not saying that Daddy could continue going back to his drinking ways. I'm not going to, but I'm saying that I feel like I might be able to.
I mean, as
the coffee seems like the only thing that's fucking me up.
As your brother, it was good to see you slow down. As someone that cares about you.
Hey, guy that also needs to slow down. How about you work on yourself?
Slow down,
Sean. You slow down for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a start.
That's a start. Thank you. I had a start too, and now I'm doing what? 2 drinks. That's what I do. 2 drinks. Yeah.
I mean, I think you were right. Benjamin Franklin said it best: no more than 4 drinks.
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin had a whole list of laws he wrote when he was third. I can't remember how old.
Benjamin Franklin also fucked girls in their armpits. So,
what?
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, have you never?
What that? What?
Yeah. Oh, he has.
No, you have to.
I swear to God.
You can't just say that. You have to elaborate.
How about you Google that so that we know that
Benjamin Franklin? They have a list. They found a couple of his old sex letters and diary letters that he wrote to mistresses, and he talked about like the dirty shit they did, like fucking their underarms and farting on them and shit. It's fucking hysterical.
You're telling me the guy that's on the $100 bill, wanted to smash underarms?
He would fuck any way possible. He was a fucking little deviant. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't really have anything to verify that. I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
I don't want to get sued by the Benjamin Franklin Foundation of fucking armpits.
Yeah, I imagine there's some old historical figures that were probably into some wild stuff. I don't know about that, but at the same time, yeah, that's probably not pleasant. A 1800 armpit.
Well,
Probably not a
they didn't have
pleasant-
much. They didn't have much to. Well, first of all, it's legal, right? Back then, if there was anybody that was religious, they don't say anything about coveting thy hot, sweaty armpit.
I guess that's
You know?
true. Also, where did you read this?
They had it on an old thread in
Reddit,
Reddit.
of course.
Oh.
Yes, everything believable on Reddit.
Are you trying to find it?
I'm trying to find the specific thing, of course.
Well, for all of our Philadelphia fans, if you're, Ben Franklin apparently be wilding up in your town.
I mean, he has an entire list of the benefits of having sex with older women,
Let's read a couple.
Yeah, where's the list?
including the Cliff Notes, including that it takes longer for the vagina to age, and they are so grateful.
That's actually funny.
Because when women cease to be handsome, they study to be good.
I mean, brother might be saying something.
Ben Franklin might
Which this is pretty good. Because there are no hazard of children, which irregularly produced may be attended with much inconvenience.
Oh my God. Dude, Ben Franklin's a
Which
savage.
is a very eloquent way of saying, I don't want to knock the bitch up.
Yeah.
Because the sin is less, the debauching a virgin may be her ruin and make her life unhappy.
Okay, so there is a bit of chivalry with that. He's like, hey, save your flower for someone else.
Yeah.
Don't waste it on this old saggy bag right here.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't realize Ben Franklin had rules.
He puts a
on
lot of thought. He's
smashing
got
old
rules for a
bitches.
lot of things.
Oh, fuck. Here's a good one. Because in every animal that walks upright, the deficiency of fluids that fill the muscles appears first in the highest part. The face first grows lank and wrinkled, then the neck, then the breasts and arms, the lower parts continuing to the last as plump as ever. So that covering all above with a basket and regarding only what is below the girdle, it is almost impossible of two women to know an old one from a young one.
No way.
He said covering them. Covering them with a basket. He was the first one to say put a bag over her head.
And in the dark, all cats are gray. The pleasure of corporal enjoyment with an old woman is at least equal and frequently superior, every knack being by practice capable of improvement.
There's no way Ben Franklin wrote that.
I swear to God, it's a whole entire thing.
He has definitely written about older women before. I've read some things.
Yeah.
Do you ever think like dumb jokes or whatever? Like if you were to write down like a diary or something, in the future they're going to read that and be like, oh, yeah, no, that was as fact.
No,
I mean, just the way it's written, like here's a, because Thoroughmore experience, they are more prudent and discreet in conducting an intrigue to prevent suspicion. The commerce with them is therefore safer with regard to your reputation. And with regard to theirs, if the affair should happen to be known, considerate people might be rather inclined to excuse an old woman who would kindly take care of a young man, form his manners by her good counsels, and prevent his ruining his health and fortunes among mercenary prostitutes.
so he's saying that they handle their business.
Yep.
And he made it seem like they're helping.
And it will if they were to be found out, they would make it seem like it's more charity in guiding a young man. Yes.
No.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah.
Ben Franklin, I mean, there's some wisdom right there.
Well,
now, I don't know
here's-
about fucking an armpit.
Yeah.
There wasn't really anything about that.
I'd be curious how old he's talking about. That's what I'm curious about. How old is Ben Franklin talking about? Are we talking about like 30 or are we talking about like 70?
Probably old. Probably somewhere on the latter end.
Oh boy. I don't know if I could do that.
I'm gonna.
That's a
find
lot.
it, but-
That's a lot.
I will say I did go on a date with my first cougar.
Ooh.
And I gotta tell you, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
What's it like going on a date with a cougar?
It starts a little awkward initially, right?
Okay.
Because there's a clear, there's some people that look and they're like, all right, what's going on with this, But once you get to it, it's like you both are there for a specific reason, right? It's like it's literally just almost strictly physical. Hey, you think I'm attractive? I think you're attractive. That's why we're meeting up. So why don't we at least try to have some fun with this?
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was one of the better dates I've had.
Where was the cougar more direct? Was it, what did they, like, give me the details of the cougar.
There was nothing, she didn't hide anything.
Yeah.
You know, she was pretty open about everything. You kind of have to be, if you're an older woman literally trying to get with younger men, you kind of have to be very in tune with yourself and be like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
So it was like, yep, that's what I like. Well, so that's what I'm getting.
Well, the sex drives are about equal, too, at the age of being like a man in his 20s and 30s and then a woman in her 40s, 50s.
Yeah, I think
like, similar.
Yeah, I think older women have a higher sex drive from what I've read.
Older, yeah.
Yeah. So, hey man, it was a good date. We just literally she's probably like, yeah, she used the term, I've had relations with younger men before, and it's so much different than with men your age because you are kind of like guiding them, and then I've maintained these relationships with some of these people for a long time. Like one of the guys that I used to have relations with still will text me randomly and just check in on me. And ask me about parenting advice.
See, when I do that if I do that with a 22-year-old, people say, oh my gosh, you're Leo, you're whatever. But
no one says that. They say much creepier.
How is that creepier? I'm kidding. I don't do that.
I mean, again, Ben Franklin just.
But there's the thing. It's what he said, where it's more. She's aiding a younger man. She's helping with the aiding.
What advice are you going to try and get from the cougar?
How to take her clothes off, ideally. What advice? I don't know.
Well, the funny thing is you'll both be taking off your Liz Claiborne jackets.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll both be taking off our women's clothing. And, that'll be the interesting thing is I kept it classy, we made out.
Oh. Was the makeout session better with a cougar or with a younger girl?
It was cool because it was right next to a really expensive car. Her $200,000 BMW.
Hell yeah. I mean, I went on one date with a girl that was 41, a lawyer that was 41, and we made out on her Beamer.
Yeah, it's fun.
So that was kind of cool.
It was cool. Yeah,
I think everybody wins. You make them feel young again.
Dude. It's already established. It's like no drama. Yeah. It's like, yep, I'm a horny older lady. You're a horny younger guy.
That's the nice part. There's always a dance with people your age or younger or whatever.
Yeah, everybody's got different intentions.
Well, I want blah blah blah. Like, are we gonna be a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna be hooking up? Like, what are we doing? It's like that is nice. It's clear cut, dry. This is what it is. I ain't got time to waste. I got shit to do. Boom,
well,
boom,
and
boom.
not to sound cynical about some of the other dates I've been on, but she was very engaged in the conversation and asking questions and stuff too. I feel like some dates I've been on in Los Angeles, it's very much as you have to interrogate the shit out of them to get anything out of them. Yeah. They don't seem as intrigued or interested.
Yeah.
They're almost going through I had the date beforehand that I had was with this Russian chick, and it was just I had to go KGB on her and get some fucking info out of her. Granted, English is her second language, so that didn't help either.
Well, they are at war right now.
Sure, but she's here in America enjoying the splendors of our country.
Yeah.
But also just halfway through, you can tell when a date's going well, and you can tell when a date's going well, and you're enjoying and having a good time, and you can tell when they're having that too.
Yeah.
The date with the Russian, it was very much just I know this won't be another date.
Yeah.
But we're still on this date, so I can't just hit the eject button.
You should have.
I should have. But also, when you're getting, I think I've said this before on the podcast, there's some dates where you could tell and you're you're getting hosed for drinks. Now I know this is where we differ.
That's every date with you.
I know that's where we differ with that, but
look at this frail man. He is here with his women's jacket. Yes, I'm going to take a martini from you.
Yeah.
Do it.
What does she have?
You said pathetic men.
Now I will say I did pay for the drinks for the cougar, which in hindsight I think she appreciated, but also it's hard to pay for a woman's drink when she walks back to her $200,000 car, and she's like, "Did you really need?" But it's like
she appreciates the class.
Yes.
Just because
Yes.
they're older, they still want to be.
they want the wine and dine.
The old
That's
school.
the bare minimum you can do for that situation.
Exactly. Well, I mean that and driving down there, but I did do
Well,
it. I did venture out. My hinge range in our car on our road trip. I had a pretty wide range there, so
Yeah.
I only drove to
It's not that
Texas
far without
or-
traffic.
No, it wasn't too bad. But,
Well, I asked about the cougar.
highly recommend it, dude. I might have to go on more dates with cougars.
I haven't looked around here. I'm sure LA's got some beat up ones for sure.
Also, I will say, I know it's a little off topic, but I will kind of back on the thing on Ben Franklin.
Sure.
We got the cougar stuff. I have not been able to find the armpit one. Good, because he does write a letter to his mistress talking about how they fucked in every different way. Like, it's crazy. But there is an old document from Ben Franklin called Fart Proudly. He was a very, very strong advocate, and he wrote it seriously to people to fart proudly. Would you like to hear a little bit of Fart Proudly?
Can we please hear some fart proudly?
Permit me then humbly to propose one of that sort for your consideration, and through you, if you approve it, for the serious inquiry of learned physicians, chemists, and of the enlightened age. It is universally well known that in digesting our common food, there is created or produced in the bowels of human creatures a great quantity of wind. That the permitting of this air to escape and mix with the atmosphere is usually offensive to the company, from the fetid smell that accompanies it. Sorry. This is why we have water. Sorry about that. That all well-bred people, therefore, to avoid giving such offense, forcibly restrain the efforts of nature to discharge that wind. That so retained, contrary to nature, it not only gives frequently great present pain, but occasions future diseases. On occasions, future diseases such as habitual colics, ruptures, tamphonies, and often destructive of the constitution and sometimes of life itself.
Wow.
I mean, he took it very seriously.
So he is saying that if you're holding in your farts, you might be setting yourself up for disease later.
Yeah.
Well, I've held in my farts pretty much most of my life, and I don't really have any problems.
Real quick, sorry,
For now.
I'll just finish up real quick. Were it not for the audaciously offensive smell accompanying such escapes, polite people would be probably under no more restraint in discharging such wind in company than they are in spitting or in blowing their noses. My prize question, therefore, should be to discover some drug, wholesome or not disagreeable, to be mixed with our common food or sauces that shall render the natural discharges of wind from our body not only inoffensive but as agreeable as perfumes.
Wow.
So
didn't
he
work.
was
Big advocate.
he was
He
not
was a
only,
big advocate of freeing the fart.
not only was he a big advocate of freeing the fart, he wanted to put something in the food to make it smell like perfumes upon farting.
Well,
so
that
everybody
didn't
would
work
just
out.
fart.
I mean, everything that I've heard about Ben Franklin,
He's an animal.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of living his life right now.
You're
I got to
not.
say, I'm dating older women.
You had one date.
I'm dating older women. I'm trying to get more. I am doing no more than 4 drinks. Right? That's one of his rules.
Because you had to.
No, that's not true. I don't have to.
You had to. after you
And I fart proudly. So this Benjamin Franklin guy really seems like
I'm
he's onto
doing.
something.
I'm doing one of.
I'm
those.
sure if you look close enough in there, he probably says to wear women's clothes.
I doubt it.
I mean, I don't know if
I mean, if ever there were cross dressers, it was back in the colonial times. Those dudes used to wear wigs.
Yeah, but they didn't have as
No,
much
they didn't.
access to linens and whatever else. They didn't have as much choices. But overall, the road trip was great. I mean, the shows were pretty cool. Thank you to everybody that came out. We shout out to Libby in Wisconsin. We had some loyals from TikTok and a couple other spots. There was one show we might have eaten a dick.
Sure.
Sorry, Akil. Mitchell's buddy from college brought his friends and family out to the one show in Fort Wayne. Not our greatest performance.
Yeah.
Not our greatest performance. Our timing was off. We just weren't in sync. Just not our greatest shot.
Sure.
But we also, that was not a fun turnaround on Fort Wayne. That's what no one tells you is like everybody sees the tour buses, whenever, and it's like, oh, that's cool to go on the road. And then it's like, no. Driving all that way, then sharing a hotel room where it's snoring, you're not in your own bed. The one place the air conditioner didn't work, it switched to the heater for some reason, and we couldn't sleep.
Well, they glorify it for musicians all the time.
Oh, I guarantee they hate it. But
I know, but they always make it seem like, yeah, we're on the road just doing our thing, playing music, whatever, and it's like...
So, that's because more people want to fuck musicians.
Yeah, of course.
Easily. So
It's
at
miserable.
least if you're... It's not as miserable if you're plowing some hot groupie.
I guess that's fair.
Rather
than
than
sharing-
consolation for all the inconvenience.
Rather than listening to your brother snore in the other bed.
Yeah. Yeah, it just was not... It was a long 16-day, 17-day trip between all the driving, then you're not really getting to work out, you're not really eating great, and then you're not
You have to restrict where you nut.
What?
You have to restrict where you nut. You know, I had to, go in Airbnbs and stuff. I couldn't go in a hotel and nut.
Yeah, Mitchell apparently can't hold it in for more than a couple days.
No,
and
I
has to
can.
nut.
It just helps when you're not sleeping. You know, if you're not sleeping, what do? You nut away the
I mean,
pain.
I get that. I get that's fair.
Yeah,
Drink
well,
warm milk.
there wasn't any.
We didn't have warm milk.
So he made his own.
Yeah, it's a lot for a road trip. Like, I would never want to drive across country. I would never want to do any extended driving. Fuck, even the tour bus. I would not want to do a tour bus experience thing. Like, that shit does not look fun.
Yeah, I don't know how you get like multiple beds on there. Like, I get having one or two. But
They're like
they
bunks.
Stack them. Yeah, but
They're like slots.
Yeah.
You just lie down in them. You haven't
I
seen
feel like
Bert?
you really derailed the fucking an armpit conversation that we were having.
By all means, go back to it.
I'll try and find it, but it's legit.
Okay.
I've read it.
Yeah. In any case, you seem like you would be a perfect fit for dating a cougar, Al.
Hooking
Actually,
up
you know
with or
what?
dating?
Sean would be the perfect fit.
Sean's a perfect fit for that.
Yeah.
Someone that'll cook for him,
Because you don't want to... You
take care of him.
like to put in a minimal amount of effort
Minimal
into
is
things
very proper.
and get a maximum amount of
Reward.
splendors.
Isn't that exactly what every guy in finance tries to do with their money? Like, that's what everybody tries to do.
But it's not as good in relationships. I'm just saying that would be the best for you because there's a woman who would be willing to...
Everybody loves differently, you know?
Sure, we've heard you that you
don't go down and
don't go down.
I do occasionally.
What a load of shit. What a load of shit. I do occasionally.
Should we ask when the last time was?
As
10%.
as Ben Franklin would say, I don't go below the girdle.
Well, yeah. Well, Sean's a selfish guy.
That's not true.
And that's coming from a selfish guy.
Wow.
I know when I see one, and Sean is more selfish than I am. That's a fact.
Sure.
100% fact. But overall, what are the pros and cons of the Midwest?
Buc-cee's.
Pro.
The Midwest, I have no opinion. I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't have any bad downsides.
Listen.
Again, the road trip was mainly the bad parts was the traveling
yeah.
and the cabins, if you will.
If you're trying to raise a family, like, it's great. Like, it's great. You know, the
I will
suburbs
say-
are nice. There's plenty of land and room to do shit.
Yeah.
No one here has a bold take on the Midwest.
I'd say the worst part of the Midwest was the allergies. I've never had allergies. I've never had problems with, like, I don't need to take Zyrtec or any of that shit. But when I was in, like, St. Louis, I was coughing and dripping up a storm.
Yeah.
That never happened to me.
A lot of pollen. Zyrtec's also my pronouns.
Zyrtec.
Zyrtec.
I didn't mean to
Confuse me?
yeah, I
That's
didn't mean to mispronoun you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably the worst part I would say is the Midwest is the
There's so many
allergies.
trees. That's why. They got so many different trees and
Pollen,
lush and green.
Oh, and bugs. I don't know where it was. I think driving back to Dallas, somewhere along the way, I had dinner out. I had a dinner on a patio, and I must have just gotten bit up
Oh, that's a big
on the
mistake.
patio, and I didn't even feel it or anything, but I just got like there's like a line down my side of just some bug just went all the way down my side. So probably, I mean, the bugs are not ideal. I do not like the bugs.
But it comes with the beauty.
Yeah,
You're not in a concrete jungle.
I mean, overall, weather-wise, we got very, very lucky on the weather. The entire every road trip, every holiday trip, every whatever we take, we get super lucky on the weather.
We
We
sure
had
do.
maybe on the entire trip an hour of
Rain.
maybe an hour of rain.
God bless.
Super lucky on the road trip. But
Yeah, it was great.
Overall, the road trip was great.
It was an experience, as do will.
Anybody that came out to the tour, thank you guys so much for coming out. If you have any questions about the tour, we are going to post a vlog and we'll post some of the stand-up clips. Definitely a lot of stand-up clips from the shows. For sure. There's some good crowd work moments.
And we're still going to be in Spokane, Washington, and Tacoma.
Tacoma, Washington, December 10th we'll be there, 4:30 show, and then we'll be in Spokane, Washington, December 11th. I believe that's a standard 7:30
forget.
show.
Yep.
So we will be up in Washington. We'll be doing a couple more tour shows. And if you happen to watch us in Simi Valley, we'll be doing 11 we'll be doing tonight at in Simi Valley as well. But overall, thank you guys for coming out to the tour, making the tour fun.
Thank you
Do
for
we want to
supporting
do we
us.
want to do that again anytime soon?
If it sells out, yes.
If it sells out, sure, but even then, absolutely not. It was
if we get our own hotel rooms, it's not bad.
If it's selling out, then we'd be able to.
Yeah.
it was just
But not again.
too much time around each other, too much time in the same bed, just all the cons added up real fast when it starts off with you get 4 hours of sleep and then drive for 7 hours, which is a common trend.
I think Buc-cee's was worth it. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Buc-cee's
I would
was
endure
worth it.
all of that for Buc-cee's again.
Buc-cee's was worth it.
I wouldn't.
I got to
Well-
go. I went to Buc-cee's twice.
Oh, you ass.
I went on the way back to Dallas.
I'm a simple man.
But thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Please do subscribe, like, all that good stuff. We really appreciate you guys. We have new content that's going to be coming out after these tour. After the tour, we're going to focus on content again. Got plenty of challenges, plenty of stand-up clips. So be on the lookout for those guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Later.